Hey, welcome everybody. You've noticed that we've replaced Miriam with Christian from our customer service team.
Hi, everyone.
He's in charge of our customer service department, and since Miriam is on a girls' trip, we figured we would tackle some of the customer service-related questions. Let's talk about the life cycle of an order, how an order comes in, how it gets processed, like all the different steps that an order goes through before it gets out to a customer, so people can kind of understand what's happening.
Absolutely. You've clicked the place my order.
Yeah.
And you've got that magical order confirmation page. It's got all the details. From there, it goes into what we call ready to be shipped.
Yeah.
It's in that moment where if you realize that you wanted to add something, or if you needed help, maybe taking away something.
Any order changes.
Any order changes, that is the time to reach out to us.
Now, if it's after hours, I think, if I remember correctly, the email has a link where people can cancel or edit an order. But during regular business hours, it's probably a lot easier and better to just contact customer service, right?
Yeah, it's super fast to reach out to us.
And if there's like a difference in price, you're adding stuff to the order, then don't they just get a link where they can add payment, right?
Yes.
Because we don't, fun fact, we don't actually have your credit card.
Nope.
Shopify has it, but we can't charge anything without people's authorization, and which also means that there's nothing to be stolen from us.
Yeah.
If we had a data breach or something like that, we don't have to worry about it because we don't have it. Yeah. Okay, so they can change, edit their order. If they want to combine orders, that also could happen at that stage, right?
Yes, it's most helpful when it's in that stage. Actually, our fulfillment software a lot of the times will take notice of two unfulfilled orders placed under the same customer account, shipping to the same address, and it'll say, hey,
You should combine them.
you should really combine these. It'll save you money on shipping.
And usually, if the person paid for shipping, typically the process is we combine them and then we reach out to them and say, hey, we saved you shipping. Here you go. You got a little bit of a refund. Yeah. Now the refunds, any refunds that happen, a lot of them go right back to the payment method. We can also credit them as store credit, right?
Yes. A lot of the times it'll actually go to there first.
Okay.
So you're saving on shipping costs. Look out for store credit first, and then maybe a credit to the original payment method.
Nice thing about doing the store credit is it actually saves us the 3% transaction fee.
It does.
So we prefer it. And it's always like whenever I return something to like Lowe's or Home Depot, they're like, do you want this in store credit? I'm like, I'm just going to go spend it right now anyway. Yeah. So after it's in that queue, our fulfillment team that actually looks through the orders, looks for errors and things like that, they build up a batch and then they print out the shipping labels and the pick lists and all that other stuff. They put your order together. They actually do all these checks to try and make sure it's right. If it's wrong, what should people do? Like if they get an order and it's got the wrong stuff or the wrong person.
Or gets the wrong, heaven forbid, it's the right mailing address and then the packing slip has the complete wrong order, wrong person on it. It does happen.
Yeah.
Reach out to customer service. Be prepared with maybe pictures of the product you received and the order number and the name of the order that you might have gotten. Or if it is your order and it's missing something, just letting us know kind of this is you, this is your order, this is what you were supposed to get. The packing slip will always be right.
Yeah.
But the contents, if they are wrong, just take pictures of that, be ready to have that, and we will absolutely take care of you. It is not your fault. It's not your fault if you don't receive the stuff that you ordered. So we absolutely want to take care of you there, get you any needed replacements. In that case, we actually don't go the store credit route. We will ship you the stuff that you are missing that you ordered.
Now, our fulfillment team does a really good job of packing the orders. They have a lot of fun with it. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So once it's actually shipped, the orders go into this giant cardboard box, waiting for the post office to come pick it up. Some stuff goes out by UPS, and the poor UPS guy has to load those all one package.
One by one.
But he says that he loves it. He says when his truck is full, he's super happy. Then it goes to the processing center. And sometimes it goes right directly to the person the way it's supposed to. Every once in a while, there are problems with the shipping. So can you talk about that? Like what can happen sometimes? What should people do if they're running into problems like their shipment's late, things like that?
Yeah, I would say right off the bat, any kind of problem that we do see is that it's a high volume of orders comes in,
Okay. Like we just launched a new flavor.
or restocked something that's been out of stock for a while,
Yeah.
and just a huge influx of orders comes in, and our fulfillment team works great to get those out, and the carrier does a great job in taking that all in and taking it to their processing facilities most of the time. If we do see a problem, it's just by the sheer volume of orders.
Yeah.
They just don't get every package scanned into the tracking.
And that can happen where we actually shipped something and it just hasn't been scanned yet by the carrier.
And sometimes it doesn't get scanned until
The day it arrives.
until the day that it arrives at the post office,
Yeah.
and anywhere in between.
Yeah, that can happen. Sometimes packages get misdirected. We had a couple that went to Guam. That was super fun, where it's like, wow, did I get frequent flyer miles? And when should people get concerned if an order hasn't been updated, if it's not showing up when it's supposed to?
So this is one that people might not be so excited to hear about,
Okay.
but we usually like to say 7 days. If it's been a week since you got your shipment notification email,
Okay.
if it's been a week from there and you still don't see any tracking updates from,
UPS,
from
USPS, yeah.
any of those, if you're not seeing any updates at that point, I would say then please reach out to customer service, and then we can start the process. It's kind of very long, it's very detailed, it can be arduous at times,
Yeah.
to get the word out to the carrier saying, hey, we don't have any updates. And a lot of the times, a missing mail search is all it takes for the carrier to realize and then locate the package. And they usually see delivery within a couple of days of us filing a missing mail search. Now we're getting into the thick of things here.
Okay.
If it's been that 7 days, you've reached out to us and we file that missing mail search, and you still don't see updates for another couple of days,
Okay.
most carrier policies state to allow 15 days from the time the order ships before any additional action, any escalation can take place. But, of course, your satisfaction as a customer is our number one priority.
Now, sometimes if a package says it's delivered, but you don't have it, what are the best steps to take at that point?
So there's a number of things that usually
Look in your bushes.
I've seen so many different people send fun pictures all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
It's
My
great.
neighbor had it.
My neighbor had it. The postal worker actually delivered it to my dog kennel.
Oh, yeah. Let's deliver it there.
That poor dog. So bad. Most of the times it's gonna be just prematurely scanned as delivered.
And it's coming up. It's coming the next day.
It's coming the next day or the day after that.
Okay.
And what we like to tell customers is to reach out to that local post office and we are happy to provide that information with your zip code. We can find that post office that's nearest to your location, what their phone number is, and say, hey, it might be helpful to reach out to them, and they can check with the carrier that was supposed to deliver that package, find out what happened, maybe even locate it for you.
Now, sometimes when people are placing their order and they're putting in their payment information, it may come back with a error message that like their zip code was incorrect. Does that actually charge their card, or what happens with that?
Gotcha. This doesn't happen too often, but when it does happen, usually what I see is that, most customers are paying with a card. The card information is correct, but for whatever reason, the billing zip code does not match what the registered card info has for a billing address.
Yeah, and usually the easiest way to find that is get your actual credit card billing statement and look and see what address it has on that. You may be surprised that it's a work address or your mom's address or who knows.
Something.
But that's what it needs to match, right?
That is what it needs to match. And our card processor is a little strict when that billing address has to match the credit card's registered info.
Yeah.
When it fails to verify, you might still see a pending transaction on your statement.
Because it tried to do it.
It tried it.
And then it stopped at the zip code and didn't actually process it. But that attempt, it's called a verify, by the way, that verify was still there. Now, what happens to that? Because did that actually come off your credit card? Were you charged that amount?
You have not been charged for that amount, but it does temporarily count against whatever balance you might have.
Okay, so if your credit limit is like $1,000 or $200, and you have a couple of a couple of pending transactions, that would bring down your credit limit just temporarily.
Just temporarily. Usually we see it's within a 24 to 48 hour period.
Okay.
Mostly on the shorter side of that than the longer side, where those pending funds are returned to you.
Yeah, it gets released.
It gets released.
Is there anything we can do about that? Like, can we call the bank?
Unfortunately, we cannot work with
Okay.
financial institutions about getting it. They have their own processes for payment authorization attempts versus capture requests and how long it takes to get those funds credited.
Okay, so you as the consumer might be able to do something about it, but us, we can't. It's unfortunately between you and them.
Yeah, it's usually just a waiting game.
Now, what happens if somebody gets their Keto Chow, they're super excited about it, and they just don't like it?
Tough. I'm totally kidding. We love Keto Chow. We use it every day, sometimes multiple times a day. We love it, we use it, and we want you to use it and love it just as much as we do.
Yeah.
So we actually will work with you to kind of take care of maybe any questions about using the product. If you're doubting the way that you used the product or prepared the product, or if you run into any kind of problems, a lot of the times our first inclination, because we love this product so much, is to help you figure out the best way to use it for you.
Because maybe it just wasn't mixed up properly.
Maybe.
We've seen that a lot where if people don't use enough water, they're like, this is gooey and salty and it's disgusting and how dare you?
Yeah.
It's like, add more water.
we really want you to like this. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that you have a good experience.
Okay.
Now, when all is said and done, if you just decide that this is not for you,
Okay.
we totally understand. Everyone has different needs. Everyone has different preferences. And if you can't make Keto Chow work for you, we're not going to hold that against you.
Okay.
Most of our introductory type kits, bundles, anything like that, we absolutely will 100% stand by that product. We stand behind all our products, but for this reason specifically, we have given special attention to those starter kits. Being like,
Sure
a lot of the time it's a no questions asked, money back guarantee. We'll refund you there on the spot. Yeah. Occasionally, if you buy a bigger kit and not a lot of that product is used, we might send you a return shipping label for the rest of that product that someone else might be able to still love and enjoy.
Yeah. And
we'll supply you with that return shipping label. Absolutely refund you the product purchase price. I've rarely seen it, but case by case basis, we'll handle things like that. But just know that we stand behind the product and are absolutely here to take care of you.
Now we're going to tackle some payment questions. There's a couple of different ways that people can pay for their orders. The kind of the preferred way is with a credit card using Shop Pay. Yes. So what is Shop Pay? Like, what's going on with that?
So my answer about Shop Pay is it's just kind of like Shopify's version of Apple Pay or Google Pay.
Okay.
You enter your credit card information, you elect to have it remember that payment information for future orders, and it doesn't even have to be on like the Keto Chow website.
Yeah.
It can be any Shopify hosted website. If you elect to have your payment information remembered, it will link it to either your email or phone number, and then when you hit our checkout, it'll recognize that, ask you to verify if this is really you. It'll usually send a text code or something. And then all of your information, your address, your payment method, all of those kind of default data points are just there and ready to go.
So like I went to place an order on Stanley's website or on KetoBrick's website, and they're both using Shopify. It remembered my address, my payment method, all of that stuff was just there. I didn't have to enter it in a second time.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool. Now, where do we run into issues with Shop Pay?
A lot of the times they will have an address that maybe someone lives at 2 different locations,
Yeah.
summer home, winter home.
Or you sent like a gift order to someone. Miriam has ordered stuff for Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos multiple times, and it goes to her address in Florida.
Usually ShopPay will just remember the last address
Yeah.
that you used. But you should have the ability to make those changes or select a different address.
Yeah.
Or you can also choose to just ignore all of that.
Oh, yeah. Because there's a checkout as guest or a use alternative payment method when you're in the checkout.
When you're in the checkout, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can even, before you even verify your info with ShopPay, you can just scroll past that and then
Okay.
enter it manually on our website.
All right. I know whenever I enter my email address, it pops up and it's like, hey, you want to use ShopPay? Which is great. I like it. But every once in a while, it remembers an old credit card number. And you're getting weird errors and stuff like that. Now, there is a way to kind of break out of the ShopPay. And our customer service team has that information, right?
Yes, we do. So it usually involves either a link to log in
To ShopPay.
to ShopPay and change that information, or add new information, forget other information.
Yeah.
There is also a link that we can provide that allows you to opt out of ShopPay entirely.
The nuclear option.
Have it forget everything, and then it's like it never happened.
Yeah. Now, ShopPay also is kind of cool because when you place an order with a website that supports it, it like automatically imports your order into this tracking program
Yes,
on your
that
phone.
does happen too.
You can keep track of even your Amazon orders and stuff like that. Plus, you get 1% back typically, is my recollection from ShopPay.
You can there is some kind of rewards, shop cash or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know what it's called. My wife does, though.
Yeah, she's all about that. Okay, so that's ShopPay.
Don't be so afraid of it.
Yeah.
Maybe give it a try.
We used to have PayPal as an option. Yeah. It's actually still there, but it's hidden. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. We've just decided to not make it as mainstream of a payment option.
It's kind of hidden by default.
It is. You're not going to be able to find it right there as a big yellow button saying pay with PayPal like you do other options. So what you have to do in this case, if you still want to use PayPal, you'll just have to reach out to customer service. We're always happy to do this. I actually did it this morning.
Oh, nice.
We have the ability to go in to whatever account you're using for Keto Chow, and we will enable that account's use for PayPal.
Okay.
So then all you have to do is be logged in with your email and password, go to checkout, and it will be there.
Nice. Are there any other payment methods that people can use?
Besides major credit cards and PayPal,
Yeah.
Google Pay,
That's
Apple
true.
Pay.
That's true. Venmo shows up as an option sometimes.
I've even seen Facebook Pay
that's right.
as an option.
As far as placing a one-off order, like you just want to order one thing, we talked about that. Let's talk about subscription payments because there's a few kind of caveats to that.
A little bit of a different animal for sure.
Okay. Now, we do have a rewards program. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Yeah. Can you use the rewards program to pay for subscriptions?
Unfortunately, you cannot.
Not the recurring ones.
At least nothing that's if you've set up a subscription, you're just waiting for your next monthly order.
Yeah.
We cannot apply any store credit or rewards to that recurring purchase, just simply because the subscription platform that we use doesn't
credit cards.
It doesn't want to use gift cards.
Yeah. Now the first order, here we got the Star Wars music coming. The first order, you can use your rewards program, cash,
Yes, you can.
to pay for that in full or in part with rewards program money. But you do have to provide a credit card number for the subsequent purchases, and you won't be able to use rewards for those subsequent purchases. It has to be a credit card.
That is correct.
Let's talk about the rewards program.
This was my idea.
Well, because we had an old rewards program that it didn't work very well. It would generate a coupon code, and that didn't work with other coupons, and it was buggy, and it was terrible. And one day you were like, hey, I found this other one.
That's right.
and the next day it was implemented and working. Can you tell us how the rewards program works? Like what sort of perks people get? Like what's going on?
Yeah, with our current rewards system, it operates on a store credit basis.
Yeah.
So essentially, with every purchase that you make through Keto Chow, you are earning 5% back of that order subtotal in store credit. Now, that store credit is given to you, I believe it's 7 days after your order is
14. That's a good question.
I think it's 7.
Mr. Editor, man, put in here how long it is. Cool.
Hey, customer service guy.
Yeah.
How soon do the store credits end up in the rewards balance of the customer?
It's deposited exactly 7 days after the customer places their order.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I answer that question all the time.
Okay, how do you know for sure?
Well, for one thing, it says it right here. See? See, right there.
All right, smart guy.
It's given to you in the form of store credit. Actually, with your Keto Chow account, you also have a personalized gift card code.
Yeah, it's like this big long stream of crazy numbers.
Yep, I don't have anyone's memorized.
The interesting thing is that code doesn't change.
It does not change. It never goes away.
Unless, like, and this is why I don't do a lot of videos showing how to use the store credit, because that code, if somebody uses that code, they can use that code.
They can use that.
Now, our team can actually reset that code to
Yes,
something
we can.
different. But we've had people say, "Hey, can I give this code to my aunt and let them use it?" It's like, you can, but they can drain your account.
Yes, they can.
Anyway, so they get 5% back.
5% back from every order subtotal.
Yeah.
And that just builds sort of a rolling store credit balance, if you will. Now, the caveat to that is, and this is where we see some kind of hiccups along the way, is every reward that you get has a validity of 6 months from the time that the store credit is issued.
And you usually get an email saying, "Hey, you got store credit. It expires on this day." Right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And if you ever have a question about that, just reach out to customer service. We are more than happy to tell you kind of what the story with your store credit balance is. Do you have any rewards that are expiring or that you might need to use soon? Because you do get an email after you've gone so many days inactive on the Keto Chow website.
Letting you know it's expiring.
Letting you know that you might have rewards that are expiring. But if you stay active and you keep ordering, for example, a subscription, you might not get those emails right away.
Because subscriptions, they get the store credit. They get the rewards.
Yes.
You can't pay for the rewards. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So if you're staying active, it may not notify you that stuff is expiring.
May not.
But it may still be expiring. But the best thing to do is, if you have questions about it, you can contact our customer
Contact
service
us.
team.
We would love to help you out.
We have real live human beings.
They are ready and waiting.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the rewards program. Are there any other ways that people can earn rewards? Like, I don't know, sharing Keto Chow with a friend?
They can. Nice. So part of it's a little bit tricky.
Okay.
But we can always help you that way. But similar to other store credits and rewards programs we've used in the past, every Keto Chow customer has a specific referral link.
Yeah. So if they share with a friend.
You share that referral link with a friend. They follow that link and they place an order. Now, they can't have placed any orders in the past. Their order count has to be, from that point, 0.
Yeah.
And then following that link saves them 5%. On their total order.
Nice.
And then if that order is successfully placed through that referral link, you get $10 in store credit.
So let's assume that someone has built up all this store credit. How do you actually use it?
Okay. So if you log into your Keto Chow account, there is an option in that account settings or the main page where you can view your store credit. It shows you the amount, what you have in store credit, and it will show you the code that you use. It's a really long, ugly code.
And that code gets emailed to you.
I believe you are reminded of that, yes.
Okay, cool.
So any time you get notified of store credit or view your store credit, your code is usually there for the taking. It just requires a simple copying of the code and then pasting it into our checkout system.
Okay, and what box does it go into?
I always recommend people go through their order, review everything in the shopping cart, and then proceed to the checkout page. And then from the checkout page on the little right-hand side, there's a little box that says gift card or discount code.
Because this is a gift card.
This is
on the
money you're
back end,
paying with. This is a payment method. It's not a discount like some of the other codes we have. This is actually money that you're paying with.
So you could use a coupon code and the rewards gift card.
Absolutely can do that.
Okay.
Which is one of the reasons why we have this store credit
That's
system.
exactly right. And it's so much simpler and it works really well. If people have any other questions, what should they do?
Contact customer service.
Okay, we've got phone, we've got email, we've got all of the ways of contacting
You name it,
us.
we got it. Let's see. One more thing I will say about store credit is when you place an order, because it is a payment method and not a discount, the order confirmation page sometimes gets a little squirrely, saying, this was your order total, and it's true.
Yeah.
Your order total was $100.
doesn't show
it
that,
didn't
like-
show that you paid $15 in store credit,
Yes.
and then the other $85 had to go on a card or
Yeah.
another payment method.
And I think there's one of the pages that actually shows you that some of it was paid with store credit. I think it's the order confirmation.
The order confirmation page will say that.
Okay.
If you get an order confirmation email, it will display the order total,
Okay.
and the order total is true.
Yes.
It just doesn't break it down like you paid, X amount in store credit, Y amount on other payment method.
And I think the email does have a link where you can view the web page of the thing, and that's where it will show the store credit. So that's a really good call out.
And customer service is, again, also so happy to
Yeah.
answer those questions.
We
and
like
to
those
clarify
easy
that.
ones.
It's so much fun.
Now we have a lot of flavors of Keto Chow, and that's one of the things that people get pretty excited about. We have to discontinue flavors that aren't selling very well to make way for flavors that are more popular. If there's an old flavor that someone didn't get a chance to try, is there any way that your team can mix them up a batch of that special flavor? Like, let's say, for instance, black licorice is a flavor that we had for a very short time. I love it.
I'm still sad about that one.
The problem is it just didn't sell very well. So it was fun while it lasted. But if somebody wants to try that, is there any way that your team could make them a special order of black licorice?
No, we cannot. I'm sorry to say it, especially, if there are black licorice lovers out there,
Yeah.
I feel there's not a way for us to make that happen for you. Your boy back in the day used to be able to mix up flavors.
That's true. Back when we were actually mixing it ourselves, but now Keto Chow is it's made at a FDA inspected co-packer, and everyone's wearing hairnets and they look like pharmacists, and they're doing all the mixing there. All the packaging is done there. It comes to us in a sealed package, and that we then ship out.
We can't go back and make you a specialty. We're not the Keebler elves in the oak tree.
No, we're not. Now, are there any products that Keto Chow has that people could make their own flavors? Like, I don't know, maybe the vanilla?
Oh my gosh.
So you've got vanilla.
You have vanilla. The new vanilla cream is
Yeah.
a really fantastic base.
Yeah, because it doesn't have a super strong flavor. You can add flavors to it. So if you get like a sugar-free syrup or something like that.
Yeah. And we have it in the standard and the dairy-free core version too.
That is true.
So you have a plethora of options.
Well, and speaking of core, we also have the beef soup base, which is literally the vanilla cream core
Yes.
without flavor or sweetener.
Yep.
Like, it's a blank canvas. And people are like, but isn't it soup? No, it's actually just the unflavored.
It's just unflavored protein powder.
Yeah. We do also have the base powder, which you can use with it's all the vitamins and minerals and fancy stuff that makes Keto Chow a complete meal. You can add that to any protein powder you want. So if you have like an egg white protein that tastes like, I don't know, boysenberry, you could add the base powder to that and it would be complete nutrition.
And before the days of our fruity cereal limited edition that's currently available as of right now, before that, I would just use vanilla and one-on-one flavorings.
Oh yeah, they're fruity cereal
They're
flavoring.
fruity cereal flavoring.
Yeah, one-on-one flavors, and on our favorite things page, there's actually a link to one-on-one flavors, which works really well for adding fun flavors too.
You can the sky is the limit with one-on-one.
yeah.
They do some good work there.
They do some good work. So if you really want a black licorice flavor, they have a black licorice
Absolutely
flavor.
have it. There's so many things out there.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Well, thank you, Christian, for joining us. If you guys have any other customer service related questions, drop them down in the comments, and we'd be happy to answer them at a different time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
You're almost as cool as Miriam.
I'm not that cool.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.